Joe Biden. Is he looking out for you? He left hundreds of millions of Americans with checks in their bank accounts. His new plan invests our tax dollars in manufacturing in America. But it pushes outrageous ideas on red states, like faster internet, bridges and roads that don't collapse, and care for the elderly. Millions of Americans would have good-paying jobs, and Wall Street will lose their tax breaks. Joe Biden, he's probably looking out for you, whether Republican politicians want it or not.
I love that. I freaking love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. So, yes, Joe Biden is probably looking out for you. Yes, he probably is. When he just now got on the TV and ended the war in Afghanistan, he's probably looking out for you. There are people who weren't even born when we invaded Afghanistan that are serving in Afghanistan right freaking now. How sick is that? Okay, talk about your endless freaking wars. Okay, and so now there are solutions to two of the other difficult problems. Okay, we have the difficult problem with infrastructure, which obviously you have to build, and you have to build better than what you built before, right? So we have that plan, the Build Back Better plan. We understand that. On defense, you could love the troops, or you could respect the troops and bring them the F home from this ridiculous, unwinnable thing called Afghanistan. Okay, you could do that. And you could solve the very difficult problem of voting by passing H.R. 1 and putting basic minimum standards in place to access the ballot and to not be disenfranchised. Just basic common sense. You get a driver's license, you're now registered to vote for the rest of your life. Oh my God. I mean, just basic stuff. Basic stuff. Oh, you want to declare that there was voter fraud and change the laws of the state? Present your evidence to the federal government, and they will pre-clear anything that you want to do based on the evidence and the quality of it, due process and stuff. Yeah, that's what we used to have. And the other thing is justice reform, okay? Because this sickness in our country of being the judge, the jury, and the executioner, that extends into all aspects of life. But when you have the means to be the judge, jury, and executioner, when you have the means, when you have a billy club or a baton, a taser, pepper spray, a Glock, a service weapon, a rifle, a dog, all these things at your disposal, you need to be regulated. Just a tad, just a touch more than you are. And yes, with compassion. So I'm going to take you out of what you consider the most treacherous situation that you will ever find yourself in as a police officer, and that is the traffic stop. No more. No more traffic stops. Now, the Republicans are going to be very cute about this, like Senator Doofus Kennedy from Louisiana, right? Here.
I'll put it this way. If you hate cops just because they're cops, you don't know anything about them, then next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead.
Shut the F up. Nobody is saying that we hate cops and that we don't want to be able to call that. What we're saying is simple. If the traffic stop is the most treacherous of stops that a police officer has to engage in, then let's remove that engagement from their from their to-do list. And let's just generate tickets based on the cameras that are already there at the traffic light the cameras that are already there at the toll booth, the cameras that are already capable of, guy, trooper on the side of the road, he's got a speed gun. He can point it at your car, clock it, document it, and send you a ticket. Doesn't really have to interact with you. Doesn't really have to. And you know what? If we do build this country with the future in mind, and we create, electric vehicles, guess what? A police officer might be able to turn your car off remotely or slow you down remotely. I don't know. The future is just, it's just this big, thing in my mind. It's got all kinds of possibilities, all kinds of scenarios. Clay in Mississippi.
Hi, Randy.
Hey, Clay.
This is about the woman, the police officer that shot the young guy.
Oh, which one? Betty Shelby in Tulsa that mistaked the taser for the gun, or
no, the one?
Oh, this
one.
Yeah. Oh no,
yeah,
the one in Tulsa or the one in Minneapolis?
Well, was there another one that mistook her taser for a gun?
Well, Betty Shelby was with a guy who tased Terrence Crutcher and decided to shoot him anyway. I think that's what.
Oh, yeah, well, that's different.
That's
I don't know
different,
anything about that one.
Oh.
I was calling about the woman that accidentally, shot the guy. And
you mean negligently?
Right, exactly.
Right, because there's no accident. It's never an accident when you kill somebody.
I'm not trying to excuse what she did in any way. And
don't call it an accident.
Right. But I wanted to say that it definitely to me seems like it's a brain fart. And you mentioned muscle memory, and that's what I think it might be attributed to. Is they train to pull their weapons and fire, and I don't know if they train to pull their tasers.
I don't think they train on tasers very often. I think
so. She was probably in the moment, not thinking clearly, and just used the muscle memory, pulled her weapon instead of the taser. And, I feel for her, and I feel for the guy that got killed, but it's a bad situation all around. But, I definitely don't think it was intentional.
Well, intent is not necessary for, manslaughter. So.
Sure, exactly. Yeah, but she needs to be held accountable.
Yeah, let's not call it an accident, because my compare is always going to be the same. It's going to be, so I'm responsible for life and death situations. I train for them all day, every day. This is why I've been issued a license, weapon, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm a doctor. I'm in the hospital. You're passed out. You're unresponsive, and I'm supposed to tend to you. But whoops. I just put a whole load of morphine in your saline bag, and now you're dead.
Exactly. Yeah, it was irresponsible, no doubt.
Something tells me that cop doesn't have qualified immunity. He's going to court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as he should. Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. All right, Mississippi. Way to go, Clay. Woohoo, representing. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.